Bitch, I ain't gonna stop till I'm on top. I run till I get dropped in a pine box. My aggregation, association, this organization is my occupation. Congregating a portentous plot. Unfortunate for you, you caught a spot. Calling the shots like I'm about to end up playing basketball. I ain't mad at y'all, I just think these rappers need to pass the ball. Cause we're pretty like a penny in a Broadway. It work like a piston in Detroit, not far away. Cool Kid Collector, motherfucker!
Hey, what is up, cool kids? It is I, the Cool Kid Collector, and I got home today from a horror convention. The horror convention I went to is called Days of the Dead, in Chicago. It is my 4th year going. They are also in Atlanta, I think North Carolina, Indianapolis. I think they just started doing one in Las Vegas. There might be a couple other cities too. It's the most fun I've ever had as an adult. It is my favorite thing to do. I literally think of Days of the Dead every single day. It's like leading up to Days of the Dead, I anticipate going. And after Days of the Dead, I reminisce how awesome it was. This year was the shortest amount of time that we spent. I always go for one day, but me and my lady were drinking. We started early, and we just kind of were like, fuck it. I spent the amount of money I wanted to spend. I got literally everything I wanted. I went there to get, except one thing, which was I was really hoping to find a Blair Witch Project t-shirt, but I learned from several booths that apparently the only people that are allowed to make Blair Witch Project t-shirts are Fright Rags, because they're the only one that owns the licensing to it. So the day started. We drove there. It's about an hour away. We went to Giordano's, the best pizza in the Midwest. I haven't had every single pizza joint in the Midwest, obviously, but it's the best goddamn pizza I've ever had. Deep dish. It was fucking amazing. It was the classic Chicago. Had some Jack and Cokes, and then we got an Uber to the hotel room. Slammed a couple Trulies, and then called another Uber and went to the convention. And right away, man, we pull up. First thing I see is Michael Minton from Mintich Authentics and J.R. Gallegos, Zobi Productions, standing outside. So me and my wife walked right up to those guys and lit up a cigarette and started bullshitting with them. It's really cool, man, because I've met Mike before in person. It was a year ago at Days of the Dead. Never met JR, but it was really cool because it's like with all these videos and interacting with him in private messages and on Facebook and stuff, like there was no awkwardness at all. I felt like I've already known the guy for a couple years. You know what I mean? So as soon as we saw each other, we were just like, "What up, dude?" and just started talking as if we fucking hang out every day. I mean, we basically do on the internet, you know? So it was really cool to finally get to meet him, and hanging out with Mike was great. I hung out in his hotel room for a little bit. He asked me if I wanted to stick around for the Edward Furlong private signing he was doing with him, but like I said, me and my lady were a little buzzed, and it was a really small room, so we didn't want to be in the way of business or anything. So we left. But speaking of Michael Minton, I will show what I got from him. There was these autographs on his website, mintageauthentics.com, that I've been wanting for a long time, and I just said, "Hey man, will you just bring them instead of, you know, me paying shipping and all that shit? Like just bring them to the convention and I'll pay you for them." And he's like, "Yeah, dude." So he hooked me up. This is a David Arquette autographed 8x10. It is inscribed, "You're not scared, are you?" And it says Dewey. I love this. Mike made this print himself, like the photo. So it's a custom photo. It is certified by Beckett. I love the white paint pen. I'm pretty sure it's white paint pen. But I like this. I like this a lot. The other one is Jamie Kennedy as Randy. It says everybody's a suspect. It is also in white paint pen, I believe. Certified by Beckett. These will look absolutely great next to my other Scream autographs I have by Mintage. Rose McGowan, Skeet Ulrich, and Nev Campbell. Skeet Ulrich was there. Like I said, we were a little buzzed and we were just like walking around, but I didn't even see him. But I realized I forgot that they split everything in 2 rooms. So literally half of the convention we didn't even see. But it didn't matter. We had a great time. It was super cool, man. Another autograph I got is the guy who played Eddie in It Chapter 2. This is autographed 8x10. He signed it and then wrote Ed's, I believe. Yep. And I planned on getting his autograph, and me and my wife were just chilling, looking at shit, and he walked right by us, and I'm like, fuck, there he is. I forgot that I was going to get his autograph. So he walked by us, and we just kind of followed him, and he went to his booth, and I'm like, hey, there you are. And he's like, oh, sorry, man, I went to get a coffee. And I'm like, I'm just fucking with you, dude. We weren't waiting or nothing. We just saw you walk by. My wife is super cool. She gets a little insecure when she's buzzed up a little bit, and one of the first things out of her, she always apologizes. She's always like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, stop saying you're sorry. She's like, I'm sorry. But I think she gets a little like insecure sometimes, and she'll say like, just like, I'm sorry, or she'll let people know like, we're buzzed. So he like thought we were like fucking wasted or something, you know, but we weren't. But it was just funny because he signed our thing. He was 60 to take a picture with him, and the autograph included. It was 60. And I told him, I'm like, dude, you were seriously like my favorite character in It Chapter 2. You were awesome. And I pretty much got a lump in my throat towards the end. And he's like, oh, what? You got to get drunk to tell me that? And he's like, I love you so much, man. He was just fucking with me, though, obviously. But he was a really nice dude. He was really cool. I'm glad we got to meet him. My other autograph is the 3 girls from Halloween. I absolutely love this piece. The picture's a little blurry. And Michael Minton's like, dude, I have that same exact size, same exact photo. You can have mine. It's super clear. And I'm like, no, I paid for this to get printed. It was like $4, but I'm like, I paid for this. I went to pick it up at Walgreens. I'm like, this one's mine. I appreciate it, but fuck it. I'm just gonna go with this. But it's the 3 girls. Christina Klebe, I think is how you pronounce it. Scout Taylor Compton, Danielle Harris. Danielle Harris wrote Happy Halloween in gold and then signed it. Scout. Danielle Harris was really cool. I asked her, I said, do you have a gold metallic? And she said, yes, I do. She pulled it out. And I was even going to ask her to write Happy Halloween. And she did it on her own. It must be something that she just does. And then Scout was a sweetheart. I have a vest with all kinds of patches on it. And I have Lock, Shock, and Barrel from Nightmare Before Christmas on the collar. And she like poked at it, and she's like, I love Lock, Shock, and Barrel. She's like, I'm always trying to get my friends to dress up with me as them for Halloween. And I'm like, I want to get my kids to do that. And she's like, how old are your kids? I'm like, they're 8 and 4. I'm like, but then my wife would obviously have to be the other one. And she's like, oh, then you have to be Oogie Boogie. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's the fucking plan, man. And she laughed about it. And she's like, do you want me to write something on there? I'm like, you do whatever you want. So she wrote, was that the Boogeyman? My plan was to get them all in gold, but Scout didn't have gold. But so she had like a rose gold. But it looks cool because she's in the middle. So we got the gold Happy Halloween. Her inscription was that the Boogeyman, and then her signature. And she wrote Laurie Strode, and then Christina Klebe, who played Linda. It's cool. She wrote Totally and Rock On and XO. I took a picture with all 3 of these gals. I don't remember the exact price, but it was expensive quick with all 3 of them, because it was like, you know, if one of them was 30, then it'd be 20 to take the picture. So it was like 50, 60, 50, like right off the bat. It was like, that won a pretty penny, but I wanted this, and now I have it, and I fucking love it. I think it's a really cool, I think it's 11x14. I know the glare doesn't really give the rose gold ink off that well for you, but I can see it really good, and I like this a lot. Another guy I met, Edward Furlong, who played Danny in American History X. I said that right. American History X. He was in Pet Sematary 2. He was in Terminator 2. He was also in a movie I really like called Jimmy and Judy. And it was, I don't know if he was married to the girl, but he used to be with this chick. I think her name was Bella. She was like the first one to get killed in Ring. But anyway, they were together, and they made this movie. It was like a found footage movie. And it was basically like fucking a Natural Born Killers if they were teenagers and they filmed it themselves. It's a really cool movie. Check it out. And he had no prints of that on his table. And I just wanted to be nice, you know. I'm like, I'm sure you probably hear this every day, man, but I just want to let you know that Jimmy and Judy is one of my straight up favorite movies. And he looked at me confused. He's like, what? I'm like, Jimmy and Judy, man. And he looked at like his agent or whatever, and she's like, yeah. And he's like, man, I don't remember making that one. It's fucked up, like, for real? It was crazy. But anyway, I pulled out my own picture. I asked him, I'm like, will you write hate is baggage? And he said, yeah, absolutely. And he asked me how to spell baggage, and he wrote it real super slow. He wasn't awkward at all, man. He was really cool guy. And I heard from so many people that he was a fucking dickhead. And he was really cool to me. And he was really cool to the people in front of us. The thing about conventions is like they're Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So sometimes like on Sundays, sometimes people are super fucking cool. But I realize like Friday, everyone's in a great mood because they just got there and they're like, hell yeah, man, this is going to be fun. And then on Sundays, people are just like on their phones and they're like, yeah, hold on, texting their wife or kids or whatever. Like they just want to go home, you know? But anyway, he's like, what did the other person want me to write? He's like, someone asked me if I'd write Make It Great or Make America Great Again. And I'm like, I'm not writing that shit. And I was like, well, I was either going to ask you to write Hate is Baggage or ask you to write Life's Too Short to Be Pissed Off All the Time. And he's like, let's do Hate is Baggage. I'm like, yeah, totally. That's fine. It's shorter. But plus, he doesn't have the best handwriting, and I don't think he can spell very well, and he's really slow. So I think that's why he wanted to do Hate is Baggage. But this is it, him sitting on the curb. He wrote Hate is Baggage, and then he signed it for me. Everybody in front of me, he personalized it to. He's like, what's your name, man? And then he wrote their name on it. But me, he didn't ask that. I don't really like to get them personalized. I usually do if it's from a girl. For some reason, I don't know why. Because usually they do like 2 Darren XO or whatever, and it just looks cool, whatever, I guess. But this is... I'm not selling any of this shit, obviously. But this is going to be like mine forever and ever. So I almost wanted him to write 2 Darren, but I didn't ask him. But I had it in my head, like if he asks me, I'll tell him go ahead. But like Christina Kleb or whatever, she's like, who's it to? And I'm like, you can just sign it. And then I just kind of saw it in her face, like, oh, you're one of those guys, probably thinking I'm gonna fucking sell it or whatever. I don't know, but she was still cool. But this is that. I really like that piece a lot. Couldn't wait to meet the dude. And lucky me, he was super cool. I got a couple patches here. My wife has this new infatuation with Creature from the Black Lagoon, so everything she saw, she's like, I want that, I want that. She don't... I have a vest with patches on it that I wear to shows and conventions and shit. It's just a new thing I started. I used to do pins, but they always fall off. But anyway, so she got this patch. So I bought it for her, and it's a really cool patch. It's gnarly. And I'm like, what the fuck are you going to do with it? And she's like, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Fuck you. I'm like, okay, dude. But that's a really cool patch I like. And then I got one, too. They were $5 each. So I got the Bela Lugosi one. They had a really small one that looked a lot cooler, but it was small. I'm like, fuck it, man. For the same price, I might as well get the big one, right? So I got that. My wife saw this cool mask, Creature from the Black Lagoon mask. Pretty radical. I like it a lot. And she wanted it. And I was gonna get. I don't know why, but I thought it was gonna be expensive, you know. And I was like, how much is the mask? He's like, $10. I'm like, give me it. I'll take that, motherfucker. So I bought that for her. We bought each other stuff, you know, like, oh, I forgot. Like this, for example, I got this really kick-ass Munsters t-shirt. Like she bought for me, you know. Really like this shirt a lot. I was like, man, I kind of want that Monster shirt because I couldn't find a Blair Witch Project one. So she's like, well, let's go get it. And I'm like, I really don't want to spend any more money, man, to be honest with you. And she's like, just go get it. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I went up there, and then she pulled out the money and bought it. So I was like, fucking sweet, man, that's cool. we walked by a booth, and this lady was like, hey, she got my attention. I'm like, oh, here we go. Someone's going to fucking try to get me to sign up for something or buy something. She's like, can I please see your tattoo? I'm like, yeah. So I showed her my Edgar Allan Poe tattoo I just got on Sunday. And she was just extremely impressed by it. And the other two dudes at her booth were like, holy fuck, like that thing is gnarly, dude. And I'm like, yeah, man, the guy that did it, I told him the name, Ian Curie from Land of Incan in South Beloit, Illinois. And I'm like, this is only his second fucking portrait. And they're like, what? They couldn't fucking believe it. So they were like, dude, you gotta sign up for the tattoo contest tomorrow. And I'm like, man, I'm not gonna be here tomorrow. And they were like, dude, next year you gotta enter it. And she's like, to be honest with you, I wouldn't even worry about what place you're gonna take. I was like, wow, that's really, really cool. So, but that dude ended up giving me like 2 bracelets, 2 buttons, because they're Days of the Dead Tattoo Expo is what they are. They're on Instagram at Days of the Dead Tattoo Expo. They gave me some free buttons. They gave me some free stickers. And he even gave me a free t-shirt. Like, I couldn't believe it. They just loved my fucking... They were selling their shirts for like 20 or 25 bucks, but he just loved my tattoo that much. He's like, what size shirt you wear, man? I told him, and he's like, here, dude. And I'm like, are you for real, bro? And he's like, yeah, man, that fucking tattoo's the shit. I'm like, okay, dude. But this is it here. Days of the Dead tattoo. It says Louisville. And on the back, what does it say? Ink Therapy, Indie Tattoo Expo, That Damn Tattoo Contest, daysofthedead.com, but it says that on the bottom. But, yeah, he didn't have to do that, you know, but it was super rad. Sid Haig is gone, obviously. But he's always at Days of the Dead every single year. This year, he obviously couldn't be, but it was cool because they set up a table anyway. And I had like a bucket of fried chicken on it and pictures of him and a notepad and a bunch of pens where like people could write him letters, you know, spiritual letters or letters to his wife or his family. And people were writing letters and putting them in the bucket. I didn't do that, but there was a little cool card, kind of like an obituary type thing card that they had, so I grabbed one of those. I know in my unboxing videos I'm always like, I fucking hate art prints and shit, but I like them if you get them from the artist, you know, it's different. So I got this one, Elvira. My wife bought this for me too. I absolutely love Elvira. She will probably be my next portrait tattoo, but I really, really liked this. And I have other art prints from this guy. I have a Leprechaun one, a Lords of Salem one with, what's her, Sherry Moon Zombie, and I think an Edward Scissorhands one, maybe? Another art print. This guy's like Kupto or something. I think he was in a Fright Crate. But I got this really cool one. They were like 3 for $20, and I should have just fucking got, or 3 for $25, I think. They were like, yeah, they were $10 each, or 3 for $25, and I didn't want to spend $25. Like, I was at the bottom of the amount that I brought. I spent a lot of money this year. It was probably around $800, with everything, drinks, food, hotel, merch. It was around $800. But I asked the dude, I'm like, will you do 2 for $15? He's like, no, man, I can't do that. And I was like, all right. We started talking about other shit, and then he's like, you know what? I'll hook you up, dude. I'll do 2 for $15. So I was like, sweet, man. So I got this Predator one. He does these in oil. This is a reprint, obviously, you know, but I love the Predator one. I had to have it. And then I got this one too. Monster Squad, very cool. I like this one a lot. It's a fun little art print. And after I was done and I bought it, I noticed he had a Candyman one, and I'm like, fuck, I should have just did the 3 for $25, you know what I mean? This piece is not mine. My friend Dave and his wife Sarah brought this to my house, and they were like, dude, will you get this signed for me, get it personalized, see if he'll write this. I'm like, yeah, I could try, man, you know. So I don't know his fucking name, Mike Beale or something. He was Corporal Dwayne Hicks in Aliens. Well, this is a toy that she has. She had me get signed. It says, to Sarah, nuke the site from orbit. I asked him to write that, and he did, in gold. Oh, I thought I was done. I'm not. There is another guy called Zachariah the Messiah's Oddities or something like that. And fuck, I already put a sticker on my freezer. But yeah, I was gonna come up here anyway and just look at this stuff. So I'm like, fuck it, let's film it. I usually do my convention halls and stuff, but Zachariah the Messiah, he does like wet specimens, like, you know, fucking animal fetuses and fucking octopus tentacles and shit, bat skeletons, tarantula exoskeletons. I can show you. I got this from him last year. It is a green bottle blue tarantula exoskeleton. Oh yeah, you're not gonna fucking see that. There you go. Green bottle blue, beautiful, beautiful creature. I really wanted the Togo Starburst Baboon, but he wanted like 80 for it, which is, you know, I get it. But I already got a tarantula from him. So this year I'm like, I'm going to get a bat from this guy. All different price ranges. Some of them were $250. Some of them were $80, you know, on little tiny stands, you know, like this. But this one he had last year. And I'm like, fuck, I want that. My wife's like, yeah, it is pretty cool. Well, this year she's like, it was the first thing I did. I walked in, saw him. I'm like, oh, what's up, dude? And then I'm like, yeah, I'm the dude on, I was asking about the Togo Starburst Baboon. And he's like, you the dude I just talked to on Facebook yesterday? I'm like, yeah, man, that's me. And then she's like, ooh, look at that bat. And I'm like, yeah, I know. He had that last year. It's fucking cool. She's like, get it. And I'm like, I just got here. I don't want to fucking drop $120 right now, you know, but I'm like, fuck it, dude. I'm getting it because I looked at it last year, you know. I hope the glare is not bad, but check this thing out, man. There's a dead mummified bat in here. It's hanging upside down in like what looks like an old lantern. But yeah, this is really cool. He wanted 125. I asked if he'd do 120. He said yeah. It's cool because I can hang it up or set it down, but the back opens up. And there's a dead body of a bat. It is an Asian bat because domestic bats are illegal to have, even though I have one right here. Yeah, I got one. Fuck it, I'll show you. Hold on a second. So that's the bat. My brother's dog killed it. So I fucking shadowboxed it. But yeah, I really like that thing. And then this, I did not get at the convention, but I did pre-order it in February. And that came in the mail the day of. So this is the last one that I'm going to show you. The NECA Michael Myers from the newest Halloween, the 2018 version. It's pretty cool. I like it. I always wanted a clothed Michael Myers. The hands are bloody. But yeah, that is it. That's everything that I got at Days of the Dead. I absolutely love it. I think it's like $30 a person to get in, depending on the day. Some days are like 35. Tons and tons and tons of shit to do. Lots of shit to do. They have a bar. The people are super cool. I ran into, I'm an Invader. Angelica. I'm sure you all know her. She's a really awesome YouTuber. And, super fucking radical internet friend of mine, and it was really nice to finally meet her in person. And she's really sweet. She's really nice. She was a lot of fun. She's a really, really cool girl. It was really cool to meet her. We talked for a few minutes. We took a picture together. That was really nice. Trying to think of anyone else I might have met. But no, that was basically it. Hung out with Mike and ran into JR a few times, and that was cool. So yeah, this is my long Days of the Dead haul video. That's about it. I'm going to make another video of something else I got in the mail from a really, really awesome subscriber who also has a YouTube channel and is a member of my Facebook group called Cool Kid Collector Club. Please check that out on Facebook, Cool Kid Collector Club. Every Wednesday and every Friday, I do live trivias on movies. Every single day of the week, we do Horror Movie Fight Club, Final Girl Fight Club, Witchcraft Fight Club. It's a lot of fun. Everybody hangs out. It's not like any other group. People aren't allowed to post shit for sale or trade or any of that bullshit. Literally no one is an asshole. That's why I made this, because I've been in so many other horror groups. Some of them were built by YouTubers, and I fucking hated it because people were assholes. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own shit, and I won't tolerate fucking dickheads. So I made one, and it's super cool. It's a lot of fun. We all share our collections and talk about horror movies and all kinds of shit. It's not just for people who are into horror. I mean, if you fucking collect Pogs, comic books, there's a guy in there that collects CDs, and he's constantly showing off his CD collection and shit. It's really cool. So Cool Kid Collector Club on Facebook. Thank you very much for watching. God damn, my throat is so dry. Thank you very much for watching. If you were new to this channel, I am the Cool Kid Collector. Please subscribe. I always do unboxing videos and other kinds of random cool shit. So welcome. If you are already a subscriber, thank you very much. I truly appreciate you being here, and I cannot wait to see you again. I will talk to you later. I'll see you soon right here. Thanks. Bye.
When they blow, we here to let you know we ain't gonna stop until the pine box is closed.